Hey everybody, Charlie Iron 2 here, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We last left off, we were trying to figure out what caused the damage in Mr. Garadeb's room. I think it's these mortar shells. Let's give it a shot. At first I thought it was this cracked picture back here, because it appears to show his wife with her face smashed. So I thought maybe there was a fight between two women, but clearly that was the wrong answer, so let's go with the mortar shell. Present it.
Take that!
The true identity of the beast that tore this room apart is these shells. With their butter wouldn't melt accomplice, the cannon. What do you mean by butter wouldn't melt accomplice? I don't understand that turn of phrase. Let me know in the comments if you've heard that turn of phrase before and where it comes from, which country. If it is USA, what area? Because I've traveled all over. Never heard that before. But war is good for nothing. It brings only destruction, something we must all strive to understand. Sometimes it's an inevitability, though. It's not something we should enjoy or strive for, but it is something we should be prepared for. Because you can't control what your enemies do. What spectacularly contrived logic led you to this mindless conclusion? Okay, so this one's wrong too? Oh, well, it's supposed to be a logic and reason and spectacular, so I thought I'd contribute to the show. This is my show, Mr. Naruhodo. Kindly perform any peculiar experiments on your own stage. So that's wrong too? Ugh, sorry. Oh, we are gonna fill this whole thing. Well, what we do know with some certainty is that a destructive creature has been at work in this room. Mr. Garadeb inadvertently looked in the direction of something that gives its identity away. Alright, they've said this before. We're supposed to find the right thing. As far as I can tell, I can only present the mortar shells, the lion, or the photograph. I can't look up or down. I'm trying to. I don't see anything else. Can't look at these pictures. I can't look at the medal, so it has to be the lion statue? Present it.
Take that!
You correct with the same thing? There is no beast more ferocious than the lion, and no lion that wouldn't unleash its ferocity in unfamiliar surroundings such as this. I don't believe it's the lion, but I don't know what else to pick. So it must have been the lion. No other proof is necessary. No, that's not right. Are you quite concentrating? You've identified exactly what I did. I know this, but there's nothing else I can click on. Oh, yes, so I have. Sorry. Well, I do understand. As imitable as I am, people do like to try. But you won't make a great detective like that. Nor even great detective's assistant. An assistant's assistants, then. Alright, I'll think again. Okay, so now I'm baffled, because I picked the only three things it's letting me pick, and it's wrong. So, I'm clearly missing something here. Alright, same thing. I'm wasting all my tries here. Photograph frame, lion statue, fire. Can I present something that I can't click on? Like, I can only move so far. Lion statue, photograph frame. Not the fireplace, not the mortar shells apparently. Huh. Let's look at the photograph again. Maybe it's when we zoom in here. Alright, I'm skipping this because I've already read that. Oh, I can look at this even more. So it's not the photograph frame. It's the picture of her. The glass is broken, so you can't see the bride's face at all. But no amount of cracks could hide the woman's plump form. I think powerful would be kinder than plump, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, she certainly looks that. There's a lot of horsepower there. Jesus. Not someone you'd want to upset, that's for sure. Oh, look. Have you noticed her wedding ring? It's very large, isn't it? Yes, that's an unusual design. Looks like some sort of embellished sunflower. Let's look at Mr. Garrideb. This must have been where This must have been when Mr. Garrideb was still in the army. He seems to be carrying his rather stout bride effortlessly and beaming a smile at the same time. She looks like a child in his hands. I suppose he was very strong in his younger years. Hard to imagine now he's as thin as a rake. Can we look at anything else in this picture? Alright, well, I'm going to try to present her face.
Take that!
Music has stopped. I think we got it that time. I let the mechanics of the game get in my way on that one. I clicked photo first because that's what I intended to present, but I didn't realize I had to present the specific part of the photograph. I didn't think it was the lion or the mortar shells. I just didn't know what else to click. The true nature of the beast has run rampant here is revealed by the newlywed bride. Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. She's plump, so she eats a lot? Yes, this frame print pictures your wife, Mr. Garrideb. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. Jesus, guys. Oh, Indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. What? Nobody would want to be called a beast. Maybe like a, power lifter in the gym, but like not a lady just like on her wedding day. You look like a plump beast, ma'am. Lots of horsepower in those arms. Honored might be stretching a point. Too late, the fact remains that the beast which so clearly savaged this room was your wife, Mr. Garrideb. Gah! The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. All right, so the stabbing happened here. She ran outside and fell down in front of the tenant who was coming home. That's my current hypotheses, my theory here. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well, yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? It's the victim. Madame? But me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is? Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. The poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself. Well, I don't know about fragile. Now, counter theory. The wife is dressed up as the maid, and they killed the maid. That's why she sucks at pouring coffee, or tea. Sorry, I'm an American. We pour coffee, not tea. Even though I literally have hot tea right here to drink. And the reason for that is because there's a lot of reading in this game, and it's tough on my voice. Normally I can only record a couple hours before I have to call it quits because of the reading here. So I do have tea. So that makes my last comment completely null and void about saying coffee. But it is what it is. I said it and I'm not taking it back. I don't know about fragile. Oh, dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of Mrs. Garrideb anywhere. But it seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. Why do people in this game hide things in their pockets so poorly? Like, I'm gonna leave this damning evidence half hanging out of my pocket. Wonder where Mr. Garrideb's wife could be. Speaking of which, let me grab a sip of that tea so I can keep reading here. All right. Sorry, I bumped the mic. Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. So it's not the dress pocket that gives us a clue. It's not the teapot. Is it the slap on the side of your face? Can we... Yeah, we can look this way. Wedding ring. Oh, that is the wife. That's the ring. She's got it on, too. She's wearing a very large ring, look. Oh, yes, a sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. I think I'm starting to put it together. They said earlier that in order to maintain some sense of status, you must have a maid. Right? So, is the wife now masquerading as a maid in order to maintain his status? Or, counterpoint, have they killed the wife and the maid is now masquerading as the wife because she's his lover? We'll have to see. A sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the ring finger of her left hand, which means it's surely a wedding ring. Looks like it's on there for life, too. I can't imagine it was slid off a finger that size. That's something to think, Mr. Naruhodo, not to say. Do you know Mr. Gyarados' wife in the photograph had a ring very much like this one? There's a large sunflower design as well. Really, you have a great memory for these things. You don't really need a great memory when there's like such a unique ring shape. A large sunflower wedding ring. It's quite a coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it? Yep, that's the evidence right there. That's what we present.
Take that!
Break the screen. There we go, we did it. Your wedding ring. Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Ah. That's why he calls her Joan, too. Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Gyarados' bride in this photographic print. In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. No. You are Mr. Gyarados' lucky bride. You are Miss Gyarados herself. Oh my word! If that's the case, I bet the lady that was murdered was the other maid. Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmised, this is my wife. Yes, my Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say, but she was a bally corkerback. Let herself go. You can't say that. No wonder you have a slap on the side of your cheek. It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you're a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. Tisk. I'm a retired army man. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? It's not right, I tell you. I was 2nd Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ. I mean, I don't have a maid. I could probably afford one, though I don't see the point. Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. That's, it's kind of effed up. Though in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly. Yeah, I agree too there, Shums. You mean Mr. Gyarados has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Gyarados? Only in company, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please. This was only topic 1. The raging wife of Mr. Gyarados. So why was she raging? Carpet was not gnawed on by the starting line. Now, Mr. Gyarados. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. That's why he's holding his cheek, is because it hurts. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garrideb's wife a beast. He is, isn't he? Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable. But Mrs. Garrideb is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? Oh, how true. So perhaps that supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garrideb's pain is tangible, though. Look at that pose of his really signify he's hiding that mark. I mean, just look at a slapped cheek. That's what he's hiding. Let's look at it first. It gives us a hint if we should call it out or not. Oh my, look at that bright red mark. Gosh, that's quite something. Oh, I'm looking at this slap mark. The thumb is down towards his chin? How would a slap like that happen? That's a left-handed slap to the right-hand side of the face? I feel like the thumb should be up near the ear and the fingers towards his ear, not towards the front of his face. So he was slapped from behind by a left hand on the right side of his face. That's weird. If you slap someone from behind with your left hand, it should be on the left side of the face. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe that's not a thumb down near his mouth. Yes, Mr. Garrideb has been slapped in the face, it seems. Hard. I've never seen such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing? Maybe that lady with horsepower in her arms. Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say. Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to present the slapped cheek.
Take that!
That was right. Hopefully before trial we get some more of those little marks. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek. Yes, the thumb is near the lip. That is a very odd way to slap somebody. Was he laying down? Facing away, and then she come up and just slap down on him with her left hand? And of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade was you, Madame Joan Garrideb. Well, yes. She's slapping her own cheek. You have been desperate to hide that slap mark on your cheek, sir. Arg. You turned into a pirate. How the blazes. How did you work that out, man? Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. That and your face looks really weird. To keep your other side from view. Well, Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Garrideb to fly into a rage. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Not the bills, maybe that journal. Guessing the journal, right? Did Mr. Sholmes say that the bills were all for lion fodder? Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed, which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Garrideb's wife. Naruhodo. She's a person, not a thing. Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact. Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wondered. I'd love to know the answer to that question. Infidelity. Right here. What is the bookmark? Is it a letter? Ha! Look at the kissy lips on that. Someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here. Look. Mr. Garrideb is clearly an avid reader. Oh. Wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark. Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Who's Mary? Let's find out. And look next to the signature here. Lip marks made with lipstick. Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture. Don't get any ideas, Susato-san. What? Why would you go there with that? Susato has not even like flirted with you once. Oh dear, I'm sorry. So this bookmark is actually a love note then. That's what we need to present. I don't need to look at anything else. Love note present.
Take that!
Break the screen. Got it. Yes, it is a love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Perhaps the sender of this note, a certain Miss Mary. Oh, look at Joan's face. She's about to punch him with that ring. She ain't having none of this. Is the fly in the ointment here? Look at that face. Such horsepower. Such rage. Such a beast. Oh, she hit him again. But here's the thing, the way she hit him just now wouldn't match up with those hand marks. But I don't know the Bali woman. You don't know her? That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there. It wasn't just in there, you say? Oh, it was just in there, you say? That's right. That's what I've been saying. Ah! That's why she's been burning them. A likely story. Now listen here, Joan, old thing. I explained it at the time. I bought the book at that secondhand place, and that note must have already been in there. So, the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right, that's what I've been trying to say. Ah! A likely story. I'm with you, Joan. For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you'd forgotten, is John. Arg! A likely story. Are you questioning my name now? Oh, she slapped him again. She is furious. And there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart, and you unleash a beast with a most ferocious bite. Ugh. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I am not mistaken. Oh, dearie me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? Ah. This time, madam, I'm afraid it's you who had inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wondering eyes settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. No, I think the missing candle from the candelabra. But surely Mr. Garrideb didn't eat the carpet. No, of course not. There doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is in is a result of her wild temper. No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction that we need to fix. We need only to follow Mr. Garrideb's gaze, Mrs. Garrideb's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer. All right, let's see what we can see. Yes. I'm pretty sure it's this candelabra here. Can we move around? We can. Maybe the missing candle? This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it? The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. It looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over. Oh dear, that would be dangerous. Wait, take a closer look at this. Do you really need to look closer to see there's a candle missing? There's one candle missing. Yes, I didn't notice that before. Really? You didn't notice that? Why is that, I wonder? Why is one candle of the 3 missing from its holder? I mean, that's clearly it. Let's go ahead and present it.
Take that!
Break the screen. There we go, we won. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick. Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed, they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks. It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. I was about to say martial. Marital altercation. Miss Garrideb's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. The force of her strike caused a candle to fall from the holder. And in seconds, the carpet was alight and the whole corner of the room in flames. Yes, For the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there is but one conclusion here. After the sparks of marital discord, this room was the scene of a fire. Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you. Oh, he's stricken. Oh, she caught him. Carpet scorched by a small fire. Solved. Deduction complete. Elementary. It's these dashed long winter nights, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good secondhand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all of my old novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material. For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems. Don't know about admonished, demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And beast is most certainly an apt description. Here we go again. And the carpet? Was that destroyed by a fire when a candle fell on the floor? Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old stick's rage and the raging flames. You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being. Over here, Mr. Garrideb? Pull it back. Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you'd allow me. There we go. Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got a hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. Gosh. Then the wife started hurling things at me. What a terrible sight it must have been. There I was, back up against the window under heavy enemy fire, incendiary books and coming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite, a book called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride? Ah, yes. Your notorious love of big cats coming through again. I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage. Mr. Sholmes' deductions turned out to be correct once again. Did they, though? Did they turn out to be correct? It can only be described as Great British Wonder. I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere and the old stick in full fettle. Out of interest, what time of day was that? Not sure I can remember. It's 2 days ago now. Let's see. Around 5 o'clock, I think. Alright, so as of right now, there's no way to connect this, but I don't think they're being fully honest with us. I think he does know this, where this love letter came from. And we're going to find that out soon enough. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, and or a subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.